Eto, so I made this lecture especially for you, and this is based on most things we know based on published data and what we have experienced in PGH, and hopefully this will help you better prevent the occurrence of COVID in your family. So I'll go over SARS-CoV at saka yung bagong variant. I'll also talk about COVID-19 and maybe complications, especially for our age group, and prevention, including issues on vaccination. So, pero I'll limit it to 30 minutes. Pag 30 minutes, yan na, that's it. So what do we know about the virus and how it spreads? So, we started to hear about this virus, di ba, nung mga January of last year. So 1 year na. So this is really how it looks like, and there are spikes. Parang lahat tayo medyo familiar na with how it looks like. So kaya siya corona kasi talagang parang crown yung itsura niya from the surface. No? So there's been many coronaviruses along the way, but this one really seems to be so transmissible. That's why it has affected many individuals na. Many millions of people have been affected and many millions have died. So how does it enter the cell? Kailangan talaga, it's through the spikes, no? That's the one that makes up the corona. Merong particular parts of our cells that allow the interaction. So parang merong key and lock na mangyayari. So, and that's present in some cells dun sa places of our body where it could be exposed to. So this needs to happen, and we need to strengthen our immune system to be able to block this interaction. So kahit na, let's say, ma-expose tayo, pwedeng we make it so na we're able to reduce that kind of successful interaction between the virus and our own cells. Kasi pagka nakadikit na yung virus into any one of our cells, mapapasok na yung genetic material ng virus, yung RNA, tapos it will invade na the cells of the patient. So this is how the virus would really look like in real life. So these are electron micrographs of virus, the COVID virus inside the human body. So even from this angle, you would see na yung mga spikes very uniquely distinctive kasi siya. And that's how investigators around the world know that there's an infection. This one naman are the myriads of COVID as it tries to invade lungs, no? The organ of the lung. So nagtatry siya pumasok into the cells. So about the UK variant naman, what led to its discovery? So parang all of us have been sort of more and more familiar and into trying to prevent ourselves from getting infected. Pero there was this here on the left side of this PowerPoint, you would see na biglang dun sa isang area in Southeast England, they noted a rapid spike. Biglang dumami, no, yung cases ng COVID-19. And when they eventually looked at the occurrence in the entire UK, parang nagkaka-spike talaga. So from the usual 100 cases a week, biglang naging more than 400 per 100,000 population dun sa area na dun. So they intensified genomic sequencing, and that led to seeing na yun palang nandun sa Southeast in UK, maraming mutations they noted, and they started calling this a separate variant. No? So what's different about this UK variant? So they've seen that there were major mutations that led to distinctively, parang isa na siyang lineage. No? Parang kung sa family tree, meron na siyang sariling class of mutations that occurred uniformly across the several of these people affected with this new variant. But what does it mean to us, yung human health? So, familiar tayo, di ba, dun sa flu? We're recommended to have annual flu shots kasi the flu virus, the influenza virus, normally really undergoes enough mutations so that on an annual basis, parang kailangan baguhin ng baguhin yung vaccine. So similarly, all other viruses, habang nagpa-pass on sila from one person to the next, merong certain mutations that can happen. So most of these mutations are minor, but for this particular UK variant, nakita nga na it seems to increase transmissibility. So that means it gave the virus through the mutation that capacity to be more transmissible. No? Parang na-evade niya yung usual defenses ng human person. Okay. So going back, so ibig sabihin, kailangan natin ma-intensify within ourselves, our families, our communities, efforts to bring down the transmissibility. Kasi the more it's transmitted, habang nagmo-move yung virus from one patient to the next, the risk for mutation or the probability na magka-mutation always increases. No? So kailangan talaga ma-understand na natin na this transmission is human to human. Ano? So, wait lang. Let me see if this will work. So, si virus, parang madali siyang mag-move. Pero kung naka-defenses tayo, always on guard, we will be able to counteract even the presence of this virus in our environment. So what did the short film show? It's telling us na it's not difficult to get COVID infections. Pag walang mask, pwede ma-infect. Pero kung may mga masks, that will provide us enough protection. No? So we need to understand what is meant by respiratory droplets. Okay, medyo maraming words dito, pero let me just show you this one. So imagine that this person here is infected. Naturally, habang humihinga siya, nagsasalita siya, kumakanta siya, nagla-laugh, or nagsha-shout, there's this cloud of infectious droplets pag wala siyang mask. No? And the more he interacts with other people, the more likely infection will occur. So when the activity is a little bit more vigorous, let me show you this. And why it's important to wear the mask. So this compares, baka nakita nyo na rin to before, kung walang mask, which is the leftmost, di ba? Kung walang mask, pag umubo siya, pag huminga siya, pag nagsalita siya, there's like this cloud of infectious droplets that's spewed into the environment. Pero this is successfully prevented kung naka-surgical mask or at least kung cloth mask, a double layer masks. So that's when a person normally inhales or talks. Pag nagka-cough, so pag merong people around you na nagka-cough, parang iiwasan niyo siya talaga. Kasi kung wala siyang mask, you could see na ang dami-dami niya talagang potentially infectious droplets that are emitted into the environment. Pero kung naka-mask, halos wala. No? Tapos sneezing is considered a vigorous kind of event for particular patients. So kita mo yan, no? Sobrang laki ng cloud of emitted droplets. So as much as possible, these individuals who keep on coughing or sneezing needs to really be kailangan may physical barrier that stops whether confirms so meron siyang infection So again, it's mainly, while there are many other ways, it's mainly through this close interaction. No? So ibig sabihin, try natin na we are not exposed to this possibilities of getting infected. There's also a small involvement or addition of the environment. So pag si patient, this woman, is infected, parang na-spread niya yung virus into the environment around her. So kung hindi naglilinis, this virus can stay alive in various different surfaces like plastic, paper, glass, etc. So ang sagot lang dyan ay alam natin they could survive. So dapat sa inyong house or offices or other places that you go to, you keep on trying to disinfect these surfaces para it doesn't get to your hands and eventually to your body. No? So skip ko to. So again, pag nag-exhale, 1 meter away is considered safe already kung hindi nakamask. Pero pagka kasi the persons are sneezing or coughing, kailangan medyo mas malayo ka kasi yung droplets, respiratory droplets nila may spread out further. Okay? So this is the same principles that we follow even in the hospital setting where we see a lot of these infected persons. So immediately we know na dapat everybody wears mask. So si infected individual, kung mag-mask siya, hindi niya na masaspread yung droplets. Similarly, persons who are susceptible like all of us, naka-mask din para hindi natin mahinga yung droplets na i-emit ng patient. So how does it enter our body? So wala nang debate dito. We breathe it. So when the virus is in the environment or close enough, merong kang kausap, kaharap mo, naka-escape yung virus kasi hindi siya nakamask or inadequately worn yung mask, pwede mo siya mahinga. No? So mainly through breathing in the respiratory virus. And it's also possible na pwede rin through mucous membranes, kaya tayo naka-face mask, no? Kasi pwede rin siya pumunta sa eyes natin. Okay. So ano yung symptoms? So I hope we're a little bit more familiar with this. Yung symptoms here, it's also written in Filipino. Medyo madali yung fever pero yung fever sometimes transient lang siya, hindi siya matagal. Minsan sandaling-sandali, pwedeng 1 day lang of fever. And sometimes it's the cough that persists or the sipon. There are persons who only get headache, yung masakit, kakaiba yung sakit ng ulo, sasabihin nila, or sore throat. Meron ding mga patients who tell us, parang kakaibang pagod, parang hindi nawawala yung pagod. So this should be enough reasons for you to consult and get tested. Yung chills, yung sa panahon ngayon, yung chills, yung nanginginig, pag medyo parang may malamig, you feel extraordinarily cold, yan, are enough reasons again for getting tested. Kahit isang beses ka lang mag-chill. Tapos yung loss of smell, very specific kasi sa infectious disease, wala nang ibang sakit that leads to loss of smell other than this COVID-19. So loss of smell means nagluluto ka ng, let's say, adobo, hindi mo na maamoy. So some people, iihaw sila, hindi nila naaamoy yung inihaw. Yung, ganun nila nalalaman na loss of smell. Or nag-change ng diaper ng baby, hindi nila naaamoy yung poo smell ng baby. So that's how they learn about loss of smell. Some patients naman who were exposed, they put like things like an aromatherapy beside their bed para malaman nila na meron pa silang sense of smell. So all of this could happen. It could happen for a long time or it could happen transiently. But in this time and age, ngayon, pandemic period, when any of this occurs, I suggest you don't shrug it off and instead have a test. No? So there's more common at saka less common. Wag na natin hintayin. Some patients, they wait for shortness of breath, no? Yung hihingalin sila. Remember, these are less common. Medyo on the severe side na nga kung hihintayin nyo na mahirapan kayo huminga. So pagka may kakaiba, fever, cough, fatigue, yan, some amount of mucus production, hindi enough. Some people nga, parang they say, meron ako usual allergic rhinitis, pero ngayon parang hindi nawawala yung allergic rhinitis ko. Maybe that's not just allergic rhinitis and maybe a trigger for you to consult. So parang kung something out of the ordinary, then go ahead and consult or have a test. It's important also to know na yung infectiousness, kailan ka pinaka nakakahawa sa iba. So it's not when you learn about the result, kasi medyo several days into the symptoms na yon. It's actually just around the time you start getting the symptoms. So when you think about it, it's really maybe 1 day to half a day just before the symptoms occur and on the first few days. So pag may nararamdaman ka na, syempre siguro parang di ka makapag-decide, o papatest ba ako o hindi. When you start feeling symptoms, parang logically and prudently and safely mag-isolate na kayo. Whether or not you know you do have an infection or not. No? So when you're starting to suspect, may bago kang ubo, you woke up, may sore throat ka. So lalo na in this pandemic, just stay away muna. Don't go to work, don't go outside. If you have loved ones or meron kayong maliliit na anak or other people around you, stay away muna. Or wear a mask. Okay. Meron tinatawag na incubation period. So, minsan may mga tao talaga na parang hindi mo ma-convince magpa-test, pero they opt to just stay away or quarantine. Yun yung tawag na quarantine. Parang nagka-exposure sila, ayaw nila magpa-test. Pero stay away for 14 days. Para ganun, people around your home can stay safe. Pero kung magpapatest at wala pa rin symptoms, most of the time, the infection will happen on the 5th day. No? So, kunyari, Sunday, nag-gather kayo ng family. Tapos bilangin nyo, parang tapos biglang may narinig kayo na somebody pala in that party that you had came back with a positive test. Magbilang kayo ng 5 araw. Most likely, kung you caught the infection, you probably will have some symptoms by then. Some people stay asymptomatic. So, sa hospital setting, sinasuggest namin magpa-test by the 5th day. Kasi dun yung peak of occurrence of the illness. Kung naging successful yung infection. So, all of this can happen. Again, there are more common, yung mga fever, cough, sore throats, more common yan. Again, don't wait for shortness of breath. It's panay natin to naririnig, but that's already a late occurrence and a severe manifestation. So what happens to patients? So fortunately, mostly mild. So this data comes from China, yung very first experience with COVID. But over the months, ganun rin yung na-experience natin. No? So about 80+% recover, but some patients tend to have severe, so mas may sakit sila, and some actually very few, pero significant, and we'd like to prevent them, yung nagiging very critical. Okay, so iba-ibang tao, iba-iba response to COVID-19. Again, may mild, may severe, at saka may critical. Severe means ito na yung nahihirapan huminga. Kailangan mo na talaga ma-admit kasi kailangan mo ng oxygen. Okay. So mild means with or without pneumonia. Most of the time, walang pneumonia. Tapos nagiging moderate pag may pneumonia. Yung pneumonia is from the virus. Okay. Tapos may severe, ito na yung kailangan na ng oxygen, hirapan na huminga. Tapos pag tignan mo yung x-ray, medyo mas progressive yung type of pneumonia that these patients have. At saka of course, critical, these are when they get very, very sick and need to be in the ICU for long periods of time. I'm including this kasi I need to like stress to many of us na minsan we feel, lalo na kung 65 and above tayo, minsan feeling natin malakas pa tayo. Pero kailangan talaga palakasin natin further yung ating immune responses. No? So, kasi nakasalalay talaga sa how whether we will survive or not survive based on how strong our immune response will be. So the SARS-CoV will be there, tapos it's all of these responses that needs to be strengthened. So kung meron kayong mga karamdaman, dapat trinatry natin i-address sila. No? So kunyari, may hypertension, control nyo yung hypertension. Kung may diabetes kayo, control nyo yung blood sugar nyo. Yan. Kung meron kayong lung problem, chronic lung problem, try to make sure you're trying to, kunyari asthma, nakokontrol nyo yung asthma nyo so that the amounts of immune responses will be stronger. Okay. This slide I'm including kasi, again, yung mangyayari sa atin, kasi constantly I think we might be in situations na ma-expose tayo dito yung sa person na to, yung nasa pinaka leftmost side of the diagram. Di natin alam na people around us may actually have the SARS-CoV infection. But whether we do get it or when we get it, mild lang ang presentation natin or severe, depends on how much we inhale, yon, how much yung nahinga natin. So kung low virus titer, that means hindi natin masyadong nasinghot yung SARS-CoV virus, no? So people were wearing masks, kahit na may konting virus sa room, low titer lang siya. Maganda yung ventilation, mahangin. Then the likelihood na you'll be breathing a large dose of this virus is much less. And you would see here, dun sa top part of this diagram, that when we get exposed to a low virus titer, our presentation may be mild. Minsan nga asymptomatic, no? And that's why many of our healthcare workers in the hospital, we think mild ang presentation nila kasi most of us are universally in the workplace wearing masks. No? Versus we're in a really high risky type of exposure. Let's say we're in a party, nakalimutan lahat, hindi naka-mask, tapos there's just one super spreader there. Nasinghot natin a large dose of that virus, then the likelihood na we end up with severe infections will be higher. So that's, I think, why initially daming cases na hindi nag-survive, di ba? Kasi initially we weren't wearing masks. So many of the exposures at the early period of the pandemic ended up as mortalities. So again, it's up to us whether we get exposed. Kahit ma-expose tayo, makontrol natin yung exposure na yun. I think risky pa rin to a certain level some of the exposures. So for example, sa airport, yung mga ganon, airplane, baka higher yung risk. Hindi natin makontrol. When people remove their mask kasi kakain sila, eating in restaurants kasi kakain sila, yun yung medyo high risk and we'd like to avoid them. Here naman, medyo technical to, but it's telling us severity, no? Yung case fatality, yung likelihood na you won't make it. No? So when you come in, here the numbers on this box on the right side, the higher the number, the higher the risk of not making it. No? So kung you come in critical, kailangan mo ma-ICU, parang ang taas-taas ng case fatality rate. And usually, the older we are, the more likely na baka maging difficult yung hospitalization. When we have uncontrolled diabetes, hypertension, when we have cancers, yan, the more difficult COVID-19 becomes more severe, mas mahirap ma-overcome yung threat ng virus. So sa mga people who have this, kailangan talagang stay at home, kumbaga, and 100% try to prevent getting infected. So hypertension, obesity, diabetes, when you're more or less ill, kahit na inherently parang feeling mo, lakas-lakas ko naman bakit ba 10 months na kami sinasabihang wag lumabas because of this comorbidity. These are the numbers we see kasi, and these are what we see in the hospital talaga pag may sakit. At the more, ito yung nakalista dito sa box na to. Okay. Ang interesting dito, us all being women in this Viber group, kita nyo, no, kasi we're on the left of the line, that may some protection being female. And in fact, being male is a risk factor. But everything else, the older we are, the higher the risks, no? So mas malaki yung risks natin. And the more illnesses we have, the more difficult it becomes to overcome again the virus. So may phases po kasi. So gusto ko lang stress dito sa early stage, no? Hindi to yung when sa early stage when we might be exposed to a lot of viruses, yan, kailangan malakas talaga. So there's a rule for keeping our immune system strong. So good food, having good diet. Now is not the time to try to get into stringent diets para mag-lose ng weight. Hindi panahon yun ngayon. If you're into vitamins, that may help. Getting good amount of sleep and resting enough are good also, at saka reducing the amount of stress. Dun sa viral response, kasi nga, di ba, sabi ko, na-inhale natin or na-expose sa mucous membrane. So that's why kailangan i-prevent these occurrences. And they've seen na using disinfectants, yung oral disinfectants. So whether, magbibigay ako ng brands, Listerine or Bactidol, Betadine, mouthwashes, using this regularly seems to help. So us in the hospital, pagka-uwi namin, yun yung isa sa mga unang ginagawa namin. So even if we do get some viruses into our mouth or mucous membranes, medyo they've seen in some preliminary studies na nakakatch yung virus at naiiwasan to spread it more. Usually by the time magka-pneumonia tayo, nagiging mas mahirap na So let's try not to get into that phase. So sadly, all of the trials we've been doing, parang wala pang conclusive evidence that anything works, except yung steroids, dexamethasone. So no study drug has been seen to reduce mortality. Even remdesivir, hydroxyl, na-test na namin yan. Ngayon, ako po yung isa sa mga investigators looking at a drug called Avigan. So, hindi pa conclusive, but we're trying to see whether this might also help us. But what's more definite now is that may mga risk factors, no, that we should try to to be in control of. So kung yung mga obese, we've seen na kahit healthcare workers na obese, parang mas likely, mas severe yung presentation nila. So try to get into a good kind of diet and prevent getting obese. Kasi ngayon parang dali maging obese kasi nasa bahay lang tayo. Kain tayo ng kain. Try not to do that. High blood pressure. So kung mataas blood pressure, try nyo i-control and have good control of that. Again, when we have chronic lung diseases, make sure you're whether it's telemedicine or other ways to see your pulmo doctors, that this is under control. No? Kung may TB, gamutin yung TB. Kung may pneumonia, gamutin yung pneumonia. Kung may heart condition, gamutin to under control so that they don't, kung may heart failure, try to have control of this. Kasi the risk of death is much higher. You would see here in diabetes, the risk of death is very high. So again, kung may diabetes, get control of your diabetes by being more compliant to the medicines. Minsan ang hirap i-control yung cancer, pero kung merong indications of cancer, to get the diagnosis and try to have that under control. Pero itong cancer minsan mas mahirap to i-address. Okay, and other illnesses. So if you have any of this, just recognize that you may be more at risk for more severe presentation of COVID-19. Therefore, it's more urgent and important that you make it a point to try to reduce the risk. Yan. So this sort of summarizes yung mga risk factors. Okay. Increasing age, so the older we are, the higher the risk. So minsan kasi naririnig ko to sa radyo, maraming elderly na nagko-complain kasi malakas naman sila. It doesn't work that way. Eh. So we really need to just stay at home when we're 65 or older and try to get the bakuna later. Okay, so when we're elderly, ito rin yung nakikita namin, pag na-admit, mas likely kailanganin ng ICU the older they are. Okay, so these are the kinds of patients that we've been seeing. The next set of slides, sorry, malapit na naman ako matapos. The next set of slides are from PGH. No? So we're a COVID referral center. Thus, we really needed to transform the hospital into a COVID referral center kasi daming pumupunta sa PGH noon, daming staff. So ito yung itsura ng PGH pre-COVID. Pero lahat yan biglang nawala nung naging COVID center kami. Biglang nalinis kasi we needed to really make major changes. And all of these are under this. So major overhaul. And this experience in PGH is the same that happened in many hospitals. No? So I think by now, if you think you would need to be seen in a hospital, safe na. Kasi lahat ng ospital, ito na yung ginagawa. We've been doing a lot, wearing a lot more PPEs. Naayos na namin to. Everybody's into the right amount of PPEs. So that pati yung hangin na hinihinga namin, we think safe na. So kung ganyan noon, medyo naging ganyan na ngayon. No? Parang biglang nawala yung mga patients. We needed to change the number of beds. and we needed to make these changes. So even if we're like really seeing a lot of patients, medyo na-control na namin yung ventilation. Mabilis na lang tayo dito. Gusto ko lang makita sa inyo na hindi impossible. If you're in workplaces, pwede nyong maayos yung inyong workplaces, your homes, wherever you're working at, to make places safe. So there's a science to it, kumbaga. So that in the end, we really need to be in this kind of new normal na andyan si COVID, it's maybe going to stay with us for more months. And these are the number of patients we've been seeing. Marami kaming nakitang severe, moderate, severe, and critical over the months. Tapos you would see here nga na, yung ba pinapakita nito, na iba-ibang age groups, hindi exempted yung mga really young people, at lalong mas madami yung more elderly patients na nakita kami. Tapos, this one, you would see na habang tumatanda, talagang even sa experience natin locally in the Philippines, ganun talaga experience that the older people are when they get COVID, the more severe and critically ill they end up as. And mortality rates, yun nga, pagka the more critical when they come in, the more difficult it is to, kumbaga, save them. So the mortality rates become very high. So, pero this is to just say na us working in the hospital setting na sobrang exposed kami, may mga paraan. So surely, tayong lahat sa Philippines and the whole world, there is a way to overcome these risks. And you would see na even, this is the work kasi I do it's to make sure that in the hospital setting, even as we are exposed, to reduce that risk. So here nakita natin kasi nag-swab kami, nag-test kami hospital-wide that for every 100 healthcare workers, there were only 2 that ended up as positive. So baba. Even if the burden of illness that we were exposed to were very high. And in some places, actually, nasa less than 2%, no? 1.16 lang. So pwede yun. Kung mag-iingat talaga lahat, it's very possible. And I show you this. This is already April to December. So this is our epi curve. So bawat line dito represents an infection. No? So yung orange bars represent mga healthcare workers yan na sa community galing, di na sa ospital. At yung blue lines represent yung mga we think na hawa sa mga pasyente. So, but overall, if you look, parang nag-peak kami nung mga July, August, and another peak in October. But here, nung December and now in January, halos wala na kami nakikitang mga infections. So, medyo naging very alert na, vigilant lahat, and everybody's following. So surely sa ating, again, sa ating, on an individual basis, in our homes, in our communities, and eventually in our country, we'll be able to control this. Meron tong ending, I'm sure. We follow the pandemic precautions. So we make sure, and I hope yun rin yung maging mindset natin lahat. Assume nyo na lahat ng kausap nyo, baka may COVID, and protect yourselves accordingly. This is what we try to have in PGH, na lahat, nobody's exempted. Kahit na ikaw na yung director ng ospital, ikaw na yung highest consultant of a department, we just need to assume na you may be infected and protect ourselves accordingly. No? So, ganun dapat ang mindset. So, pinaka-foremost talaga is protecting yourself. Kayo, each of us who are here in this forum right now must make every effort to protect yourself. Nobody else will, no? So, social distancing is important kasi you would see na kung may social distancing on the right side, malilimit talaga natin yung infections. Pero kung walang social distancing in the level of our homes, may infect tayo lahat. Okay? Tapos, let's try to empower wherever we are in our homes, kung may office tayo, people around us, turuan natin yung perfect hand hygiene. Our children, mga apo natin, yan. Have reminders for hand hygiene. Tapos, syempre minsan wala naman soap or sink kaagad, or kung lalabas kayo, always have an alcohol with you. So make it a virtue. Tapos yung wearing masks, minsan kasi ngayon parang napapagod na tayo kaka-wear ng mask. Minsan parang we find it expensive, or minsan tinatamad na tayo kung cloth mask yung ginagamit natin, natatamad na tayo i-wash them as often. But remember, these are very basic. So wear them properly. Kung yung kausap, okay, two things now. Yung ibang patients ko na pumupunta sa clinic, minsan I think they feel na disrespectful pag nakamask. So pagkausap na nila ako, tatanggalin nila yung mask. So sasabihin ko, sir, wag mo tanggalin yung mask mo. You keep your mask on. Sometimes maybe you feel na hindi kayo naririnig. So lakasan nyo na lang yung boses nyo, but don't remove your mask. Okay? And if for example, you're in a situation na ayaw niya mag-mask, yung kausap mo hindi naka-mask, sasabihin mo, ate, mag-mask ka naman muna. So that's the same thing we tell our patients na, sir, mag-mask po muna kayo. Tapos let's say sabihin niya, ayoko mag-mask eh, wala naman akong COVID. Sabihin niyo, sige, alis muna ako, I will come back when you're ready. So that's what we teach our students, to courteously tell our patients and their bantays or whoever they're talking to na, actually, dapat nakamask po kayo. Kung di kayo magmamask, I don't really have to talk to you right now until you wear your mask. So, you know, parang just have that mindset na kung yung kausap nyo ayaw magmask, whether you're, kahit kilala nyo siya, kahit amiga, kumare, ayaw niya magmask, di mo alam kung saan siya galing, tsaka hindi mo alam kung may COVID siya. Then just courteously say, sige, I'll come back, or we can talk again later when you decide that you're wearing your mask correctly. So make it your right to insist that others around you wear their masks. Okay, so tapos dapat tama, 'di ba? Tama yung mask. Dapat naka-cover yung nose at saka naka-cover yung mouth. Let's say yung face shield kasi minsan nakakaduling yun eh, no? Minsan you feel unstable when you walk with the face shield. So at least the eye protection, yung goggles, kung ayaw nyo yung buong face shield. And the reason really for the face shield is to protect your eyes. Are cloth masks okay? Yes. So basta double layer yung cloth mask. So get rid na of your very thin masks, yung cloth mask. Tapos get rid na rin ng yung mga kung ano-anong mask. Just go with the regular cloth mask na double layer. And don't touch your face, your mask, and your face. Okay. Tapos, in your homes, make sure you disinfect regularly. Okay. Pati yung doorbell nyo, pati yung gate nyo, yun. Disinfect them kasi yun yung baka tinatouch ng iba-ibang tao. So there are cheap ways and expensive ways. The cheapest is to use diluted bleach. Minsan mahirap gawin to, so pwede rin yung mga disinfectants that we buy from the grocery. Okay rin yun. Kung wala na kayo ng mga yon, tapos may alcohol kayo, then use alcohol. Pati po yung mga phones nyo, yan. Disinfect them regularly. Tapos, this one came out. So, eating kasi is a risky thing eh. Kasi hindi tayo naka-masks, diba? So, yun yung one time na, so when you're in parties, una try to avoid going to parties. No? Especially for people you haven't seen for a while. Now is not the time to have those reunions. Pero you would see here na kahit na pag nagkakainan tayo, it's really a risky event. So going to the vaccines, kasi I'm sure tinatanong nyo. So maraming platforms and maraming candidates. All of this Q&A that we released recently in PGH and we're going to release to the general community is just to reassure you that the vaccines which will have the EUA and eventually the FDA approval will have passed both efficacy, that means it's effective, at saka safety, it's safe. No? So, ang parang pinaka risk lang right now sa vaccine, so surely yung lahat ng ma-approve, for example, yung Pfizer, 95%, efficacy siya talaga. When we studied or when I studied the documents, talagang makita mo from 162, parang naging 8 na lang. So talagang 95% reduction in the amount of COVID-19 infections that occurred between yung mga bakunahan at hindi na bakunahan. And then the safety issues, they're very safe. Ang hindi lang natin makontrol here are anaphylactic reactions. So kung meron kayong history of allergy, yun siguro yung baka wag, no? Baka wag muna. Okay, so these vaccines will supposedly not make you sick of COVID-19. It's supposed to protect all of us. So ang current evidence is that it will prevent symptomatic COVID at it seems to reduce the risk of you, kung magka-COVID ka man, ay siguro mild, hindi na yung severe and critical. Okay. So kung nagka-COVID na kayo or your family members had COVID before, dapat pa ba magpa-vaccine? So ang answer ay yes. Kasi right now, yung mga data from those who had COVID infections, yung antibody response is very transient also. So at most 90 days, so 3 months. Tapos parang back na naman tayo to square one na at risk na naman tayo to get the COVID-19. Hindi baga parang tigdas, pag nagkatigdas ka na noon, di ka na magkakatigdas ulit. Itong COVID-19, kakaiba siya, so may risk pa rin. So the vaccine is recommended. Again, we don't know also whether the antibody or protection that the vaccines will create will last a lifetime. So hindi rin natin alam yun. But for now, in this COVID pandemic, ang trinatry natin ay reduce everybody's risk at this point in time. Maybe next year, sabihin nila, o kailangan, kasi nakita sa studies, kailangan ulit parang flu shot every year. But for now, if you are offered, you're at risk, and you don't have a history of allergies, I would say go for it. Yeah. So we have infographics also in Filipino para to help others in the community. I can share this with you if the Seroptimists would like to also be part of the campaign for vaccination. Kasi we think in the health community, this is really the way to go. So kita natin this is now the dashboard worldwide as of the other day, January 3rd, 20. So kita nyo talaga sa Amerika tsaka sa Europe, talagang nagka-surge eh. Sa Southeast Asia, which is the purple line, parang hindi pa. kasi baka hindi pa talaga kaagad dumating sa atin yung UK variant. Pero kita nyo dito, this is now the DOH data as of yesterday. Kita mo nagka-blip na, no? Parang ganda na ng numbers natin kasi parang pababa na siya. Pero in the last week or so, biglang parang nag-change na naman yung trend, nagka-upward trend. So we're really on the lookout whether a surge is going to happen or not. We hope it won't. So, but let's keep our fingers crossed and let's really try to protect ourselves and our families. So I end with this note sa WHO. From the very start, they told us na we need to keep on-board science. So lahat ng decisions natin are based on science. We really need to find solutions and we really need to help each other. So solidarity is part of it. Pero I added here na in addition to science, solidarity, and solutions, we really need to also help each other. So service to do more. And just for us and for all of us have always a deep sense of hope and faith and joy that all of this will end someday. So salamat sa pakikinig sa akin. So if there are any questions, and I'd like to just acknowledge the PGH operations for all the other things that we've together been doing all these years. Thank you very much po. That's it na.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nina. Let's give her a big round of applause. Everyone, unmute yourselves. In the sake of time management, I will ask Dr. Nina to stay around for 3 questions. If you have 3 questions, tatlo lang muna yung i-acknowledge ko because of time constraints. So please raise your hand and I will acknowledge you. I see Mimi. So Mimi, I see CP Girly, and I see Auditor Edna. So 3 questions na lang muna. For those who have questions, you can just text them to me sa ating Viber group, and then I can forward it to Dr. Nina for her answer para we can manage time. So may I call on PE Mimi for her question?
Good morning, Dr. Nina. Teka muna, hindi ko siya makita. Yun. Okay.
Yes, she's here.
Question, when you say allergy, what do you mean by allergy?
Oo, ang nakita kasi nila, wait lang. Naririnig nyo ba ako? Wait.
Yes.
Okay.
We're hearing you.
Dun sa mga different brands kasi they saw parang what we call anaphylactic reaction. So there's like a really very dramatic response. Immediate yun eh. Kaya immediate po yun. Parang pag nagkaka-allergy ka sa seafood, di ba? Yung kumakapal yung labi, nahirapan huminga. They've seen some cases of those. Very small numbers naman. But what in response ngayon, like when we're preparing yung vaccination deployment teams, part of it is making sure na we're all prepared to handle anaphylactic reactions, no? So tapos screen kung merong kasi 'di ba magiging dalawang stage eh. May first vaccination and then 21 days later or 28 days later depending on the type of vaccine, merong second dose. So pag nagka-allergy sa first dose, dapat hindi na siya magpa-second dose. Pagka may allergy po kayo sa other vaccines in the past, let's say some people had flu reactions to the influenza vaccines or the pneumonia vaccines, baka dapat stay away muna from the COVID vaccines. But the platform kasi right now of the new COVID vaccines are very different. So we overall anticipate na the numbers will be really low except yun nga, may mga taong prone to allergy. Pero kung sa mga food lang, mga allergy sa chicken, egg, hindi po siguro part yun. Yung allergy to a previous vaccine. or previous dose, hindi na siya magsa-second dose.
Okay. Thank you.
CP Girly.
Hi, good morning. Before I proceed, Dr. Nina, on behalf of the club, I really appreciate, we're very thankful for your sharing this very valuable information with us. Talagang it's going to prove very useful. And in fact, having you with us is already course of parang security. You're just a phone call away for our
Nasa Viber group po ako. Pag may tanong kayo, i-Viber nyo lang.
Actually, I'd like to ask yung mga ibang factors that we're doing to avoid but to keep ourselves safe from COVID as much as possible. Like for example, yung gumagamit ng mga parang ano ba to, UV necklace? Yung mga ganyan. Ito ba talaga?
So yung UV necklace, walang use
UV
yan.
light,
Talaga.
air purifier.
Wala.
Talaga wala.
Haka lang yan sa marketing ploy.
My
Pero
God.
wala.
Naku lang. Pilihan. Anak, oh my God. And another, safe naman yung nasa outdoors kami.
Oo. When you're outdoors, yeah, that's safe. Yeah. In fact, parang hindi nga kailangan mag-face shield pag nasa outdoors. Yung kunyari, you're jogging, walking.
Oo.
Yan.
Oo. Sa subdivision namin, wala na tao sa subdivision. Wala kaming kasalubong pero we are required to wear shield and mask. Ang hirap mag-jogging ng nakamask.
Oo.
Magkakapain kami kung hindi kami magsuot. At third factor is yung sinasabi nilang, you mentioned something about betadine. That's what we're using. Betadine, Listerine, Bactidol. Pero my daughter-in-law and son, they're using yung pulling ba? Yung ano ba pulling ba? Yung sa coco virgin oil.
Oil pulling.
Is that effective?
Parang ongoing pa po yung
Test.
studies sa VCO virgin coconut oil. So, although parang the interim analysis of that data, lalo na yung ongoing, I think sa Los Baños, very positively, potentially useful siya. Pero hindi pa final yung. So, basta walang harm. I think yun Basta wala namang harm. Let's say yan, yung UV, basta wala naman siyang harm sa'yo, I guess pwede naman. Except syempre may cost at saka yun. Pero yung VCO, baka useful, basta hindi harmful for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Nina. Thank you. That's all. Thank you for giving us the time.
CP Girly. Auditor Edna.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Nina. Thank you for that talk. I really learned a lot. No? I just have two questions. No, the first question is you did mention Listerine, Bactidol, etc. I also heard before about gargling with salt. I mean, salt and water. Is that also good?
So, kung what you have at home or you're comfortable using that, yes, that should be fine also. Except yung studies kasi, ang parang nakita ko kasi talagang study would be yung Listerine at saka yung betadine. But parang equivalent naman yung salt and water.
Okay. My second question is does the oximeter help if you think you have some symptoms and then does it help to determine whether you are likely to have the COVID?
I think yung usefulness nung having a pulse ox is minsan ayaw mo pumunta sa ospital. Pero pagka 95 and below, dapat pumunta ka na sa ospital.
Yeah.
Yun. But it's not a predictor po. So that means, let's say at the start, 100% ka na you'll be okay all the time. It's just good to monitor. It's just good for monitoring. But okay din po kasi sometimes let's say I'm advising let's say nagka-COVID siya tapos panay niya ako tinatawagan. Tapos sasabihin ko, what's your pulse ox today? Pag 95 and less, it's time for you to go na to the hospital. Parang ganun. That's how we've been using.
Yeah. Kasi minsan feeling ko baka paranoid na rin ako na when you parang you feel na makati ng konti, ito na kaya oh. That's why I was thinking that the oximeter could help din eh. So
No. It can reassure you na you're okay. So that's also good to
yeah,
feel okay, 'di ba?
yeah. Okay, those are just my questions. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Again, let's give Dr. Nina our
Naka-vest pa po ako.
yes, yes. For the sake of documentation, I would like to ask Aya to take a picture while Dr. Nina is still with us. Dr. Nina, it's okay. I know you have a very hectic schedule today. So para lang we can document this time with you, I hope this will not be the first, but the first of lots na nandito ka sa amin, Dr. Nina.
Thank you very
Talagang
much.
yes, oo. May I ask Aya to take our picture? Si CP Girly wala. CP Girly umalis.
Left.
CP Girly,
Video on.
naka-on ba siya? But anyway, sige. CP at saka
Bobby.
we are taking hi Bobby. CP Girly, we will be taking our picture with Dr. Nina. Wala siya. Anyway, sige. Look at the camera and then
Naandito ako.
Okay,
Nawala ang
please.
signal.
Please, picture with Dr. Nina. Okay ka na? Yan.
Yan.
Wow, ang ganda pa ng background
Ganda ng
niya. Oh
pool.
my God. She's in her Punta Fuego resort. Okay, look at the camera and smile. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2.
So, thank you very much, Dr. Nina.
Thank you very much po. Viber na lang your
Thank
question.
you.
Yes, oo. Viber your questions and then she will answer. So, thank
Okay.
Alam.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Ma'am C.
Okay, bye-bye.
Sige.
And Tita Mimi.
Bye-bye, love you.
Hello.
Yes, lava. Okay. So thank you. Thank you very much. So for the sake of time
Paano
management,
matanggalin to? Hindi ko alam meeting.
we will now mute ko muna. We will now move on to let's resume our general membership meeting. I hope you're happy with having Dr. Nina.
Yeah.
Talagang ilang beses ko na siyang sinabihan na I'm really hesitant kasi alam ko at the height of COVID-19, alam ko na sa frontline siya. But she said, pag may time talaga siya, she would say yes. And we're just so happy na this January, we're starting the Seroptimist year 2021 with that much awaited talk by Dr. Nina. So I will now continue with the agenda. The reading of the minutes of the general membership meeting dated November 28, 2020 by recording Secretary Ann with your concurrence because it's now 11:20. 11:16, and I know some of you have commitments beyond 12 o'clock. With your concurrence, is it okay that we do away with the reading with the proviso na basahin na lang because it's already in our Viber group, and then maybe sa February meeting somebody can move for the approval of two meetings, no? The meeting for GMM5, the minutes for GMM5, and the minutes for this meeting. Everyone, are you okay with that? You please unmute yourselves. Yes, okay. So the same will go for the financial report, except that without flashing the financial report, may I just ask Treasurer Bing, our Director IPP Bing, to just read the items in the financial report para we can save on time. And then it's also in the official Viber. So again, the motion for the approval of the financial report and submitting it for audit, mangyayari ulit sa coming meeting natin. Do you concur?
Yes.
Yes.
Concur.
Okay, so I will give the floor now to Bing, Treasurer Bing.
I'll start with the BDO financial statement. Our last that we discussed was as of October, which was during the November meeting. So uh, our beginning balance in BDO as of October 31 is 506,106.13. We added interest income of 40 pesos and 19 centavos for a balance of 506 157.32. Our disbursements for November consist of our donation to SIA for Candles of Hope, that's $200, equivalent to 10,026.66 pesos. Donation to SIPR for Typhoon Ulysses, that's 10,000. And scholarship fund for 2 scholars, that's care of Auditor Edna Balucan, 30,000 for a total disbursement of 50,000, 026.66. So our balance per BDO as of November 30 is 456,119 pesos and 66 centavos. For December, we received a donation for Candles of Hope from Vice Mayor Pining Gatlabayan, 2,100, and interest income, 38 pesos and 50 for a total receipts of 2,138.50 for a balance of 458,258 pesos and 16 centavos. From this, we deduct the cash prize of our LYDA winner, Eden Bocalon, for winning as the district winner. That's 5,000 pesos deducted from our balance. So we have an ending balance in BDO as of December 31, 2020. It's 453,258.16. In veterans, actually, there is no movement for November and December. So for the month of October, we had this in the November meeting, but there was a typo error. So the bank balance in veterans as of October 31 is 58,856. So that's our final bank balance as of December. No movement in November and December. That's all.
So thank you very much, Treasurer Bing, for those financial reports for our two bank accounts, one in BDO and another one in Veterans Bank. For everyone's information, yung dalawang financial reports na yon are posted in our SI Antipolo official. So as I said earlier, we'll just go through the reading. Actually, this meeting is being recorded. For the motion to approve, it will be in the next meeting, no? So I would like to request everyone to just go to our official for both the minutes of the meeting and the financial reports. Tapos yung motion for approval will be done simultaneously sa GMM7 in February. So I would like to move on now to the next item in our agenda, important matters that we really have to take up today, no? The first one is on the changes in the club's organizational chart. I do not know if this is going to come to some of you as a surprise, but the resignation of President-elect Mimi is not a matter of if, but a matter of when. As she accepted the position upon my emotional appeal, with a compromise kasi hindi ako ma-install as your president without a president-elect. But it was with a compromise that as long as a club member is willing and able to be PE, then she will be relieved of her position. She actually made formal her intention of orally, verbally sa akin in November, right after our November meeting. But then again, she brought it up again in January, no? So um, she submitted a formal letter of resignation, which for our recording, I will read. It says, to the Soroptimist International of Antipolo Board and members through President Tits Gorospe. Dear President Tits, it is with sadness that I resign my post as President-elect for the rest of this biennium. This is because I cannot take on the job of President in the next biennium. I figured that it is best to resign at this time so as to give my worthy replacement time to phase in and be oriented on the tasks she will assume in 2022 to 2024. My reason for leaving is because of the heavy yoke I was given as head of our mini parish pastoral council of town and country. When Sisma Ann Flores got sick and was undergoing treatment, her responsibilities were transferred to me by the former parish priest. The yoke became real and heavy when Sisma Ann passed on in January of 2020. Lately, I was given the marching orders by the new shrine rector and parish priest of our mother parish, Saint Therese of the Child Jesus, to get started with the rebuilding of our chapel, long delayed because of the pandemic. And so with obedience, I followed these orders and already got our chapel community on full gear. There is much work to be done, many details to attend to, and more funds to raise for us to achieve the dream of a new chapel in 2022. I then had to decide which work I should focus on outside my home and family life. Thinking that my role in SIA can very well be assumed by anyone because we are all potentials. I asked to be allowed to leave at this time. I was hesitant when you asked me to be your PE, but agreed because it was only temporary. Since our new parish priest refused to allow me to resign my post when he came on board in November 2019, I had no choice but to obey as he does to the bishop. He made it clear to us at the onset that as members of the PPC and MPPC, we all share in his yoke as pastor of our parish. And so we support him and work with him in all his endeavors. Fixing, improving, and adding chapels, churches, parishes in the diocese, I think, is a goal of the Diocese of Antipolo. I heard once before that Antipolo is the third or fourth largest diocese in the country next to Cebu, Manila, and Cubao because of the growing population. And so I obey my pastor's marching order and pray hard for the grace to navigate this new responsibility with a steep learning curve that I am still learning. My experience in Soroptimist is helping me a lot in this journey. May God bless us all for our work in the community. Sincerely in Christ, Mimi Nitura. So you heard, it was a long letter. She really needed to convince me of the of the gravity of the situation and that it was really a time for her to resign her post as PE. So on January 12, 2021, kasi proactive, I called a special meeting based on Mimi's resignation, um, attended by Director Gurley, CP Gurley, Director Sid, Director Bing, PE Mimi, VP Benz, Auditor Edna, and myself. But before the special meeting, I already talked to Auditor Edna. Are you hearing me? Yeah. And this is the reason why we are saying yes to the resignation, but we are already putting in place replacements this early so that there is no vacancy in the position, and the responsibility can be assumed by the incoming officers. There's going to be a revamp, so to speak, place replacements in the organizational chart because of the election of the PE who's taking over from PE Mimi. So without much ado, I would like to announce our PE is PE Bendet McFarland. And because she's our present vice president, somebody will have to take over as vice president. And both of them having the generosity of spirit to serve and work with us. I also would like to announce that our replacement vice president is Vice President Edna. Meron tayo. Okay.
Okay,
And
very good.
okay, so meron na tayong President-elect si Bendet. Thank you, Bendet. Meron na rin tayong Vice President si Edna. Now, Edna is
Auditor.
vacating her auditor position. So, ang napagkasunduan namin would be to have Assistant Secretary LV Calope to take over as auditor. LV, narinig mo yon? Okay, so please unmute yourselves. Okay.
Auditor talaga.
These three positions are subject to everyone's concurrence kasi dapat elected, di ba? Okay. Oo, yes. So,
Kaya mo yan, LV.
okay, so concurrence for VP, for President-elect Bendet McFarland. Raise your hand. Everyone. Unmute, please. Unmute, please. Violent reactions, violent. Wala. Okay, so congratulations, PE Bendet. Unmute, please, if you want to say something.
Tita Long wants to say something.
Yes?
I want to say something. Can you hear me?
Yes. Please continue. Prolong.
Yeah. Would it be better for you to, for all the new positions, the president-elect, the vice president, and the auditor, all three will be presented to the board, which is right now.
Yes.
And then, let's say if there's a concurrence from all the majority of the members, then that would be that.
Yes. Okay. So, sabay-sabayin na lang natin. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, sige. So, new positions are being proposed to the body. President-elect Bendet McFarland, Vice President Edna Balucan, and Auditor LV Calope. So,
Okay, concur.
okay.
We concur. You have to do
Approve.
We concur.
Okay. So, Prolong is concurring. Everyone?
Yes, concur.
Okay, sige. So,
Raise the
unanimous
hand.
concurrence. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So, I would like to announce also that Mimi is still Gabay Kababaihan Chair. she's retaining that. Wala naman siyang sinabi na she's still with us. She's going to help us. The same service, the same amount of service. Wala na lang yung PE, but she'll be director. She'll be director Mimi, being past president, no? So and then LV,
Yes.
may I hear from you regarding this position? Si PE Bendet kasi at saka si Vice President Edna, nandoon sila sa meeting. So alam na nila. But for you, you were not there. So may I...
So, being auditor, magre-relay lang ako kay Miss Bing at saka kay Ma'am Lita.
Yes. Oo. Yes. Oo.
Coordinate na lang kami.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All the papers naman will be provided to you for audit. Thank you. Thank you very much. So let us give our new officers a big round of applause. Thank you. Can we now move on to the farewell speech of Director Mimi? Make it short lang. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, President Tits, for allowing me to resign my post as President-elect. Actually, it was so scary to imagine for me to assume that post and still continue with what I'm doing right now. Actually, I prefer the PE post than this post that I'm doing now in the parish kasi mas mahirap to eh. I wish you were all there nga in the parish to help me out. Pero hindi eh. But yes, it's true. The Seroptimist experience is helping me a lot in this endeavor with the parish. Like I said before, and I've always said it, I only wanted to be a lector, but Sisma and Flores had other plans for me pala. Kaya pala she really pushed me to be part of the parish. Rest assured, I will still be an active member of the club. I'll still do my role in the Gagabay Kababaihan and still put my inputs. And then, like what we agreed in that meeting, we will support Bendet when she assumes her presidency in 2022 to 2024. So good luck to all of us, and we have a full year ahead of us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Let's now move on to the next item, membership recruitment. May I give the floor now to CP Gurley, who is the chair for the membership pillar. Nawala na siya. Oh,
Asa?
CP Gurley.
Nawala na siya. Nawala.
Nawala na siya. Baka mahina, baka hindi maganda yung connection doon. Okay, so I am taking over for this, but I would like to make another announcement. When I talked to CP Gurley regarding membership, which will be our thrust at the start of this year, she also asked if I could ask PRO Long, are you there? To be her co-chair for the membership pillar. PRO Long said yes. So other than the PRO position, she is now co-chair of membership pillar alongside CP Gurley. But for this morning's meeting, I just would like to take over for CP Gurley because membership was also tackled during our special meeting with only CP Gurley in attendance. So I would like to just tell everyone that kahit na as club president, ayoko sana ng pressure, but being member of the region and having a membership chair there, at saka may cascade sa district, my attention was called na out of the 5 clubs in the district, only SI Antipolo so far did not get any new member. I had to argue our case that it has never been our parang policy to induct members for the purpose of just quantity, no? So talagang you will agree with me that our parang pervading principle when we get members would be to get quality members. That's why it's only the members who get to invite and then parang recommend members. So according to the district, we need 7 new members to fill in the gap. So I called the meeting with the hope that we can do something about it and not sacrifice pa rin the quality of the membership that we get. So we have set a timeline with Sid telling us na may dalawa siyang prospects. Bendet, dalawang prospects din for new members. Michelle, she has 1. Being said, she's going to talk to Agnes, our past president, Agnes Painor, and myself. I have been talking to Joyce and Ditas, 2 past presidents na parang mag-rejoin sa atin. We have a total of 8 prospective members to be re-inducted to the club, and re-inducted to the club. So, pag-usapan natin kung meron kayong mga prospective members din. The membership pillar is preparing a formal letter of invitation to those prospective members. And we have also decided on a timeline to follow para talagang we can pursue membership recruitment and hopefully talagang convincing them to join the club. So February 4, please take note. Yan yung timeline natin. We will be having a tea party online. It's going to be at 10 a.m. during which we will get to meet our prospective new members, no, or old members that we are asking to come back to the club. We will have a program sa tea party na yon. They will get parang a briefing on Sir Optimist International of Antipolo. Maybe we can play our video for our 30 years anniversary. Mimi, Director Mimi already said she's going to use the same salt material that she used during our introduction of Sir Optimist sa first meeting natin. And then we will ask each member to introduce herself and then ask them if they're willing to be inducted to the club. Availability nila February 15 to 18. So we will decide when to induct them, but the induction will be done on site, no? So face to face, hopefully with a maximum of 20 people present lang. Director Sid is in charge of selecting a venue that will keep us safe from the virus. So, yun yung napag-usapan. So, please take note, February 4, tea party. And then, depending on the availability of our new members, February 15 to 18 will be the actual induction. So, may I hear from Director Bing? You were raising your hand earlier. It's okay.
Lita has 1 prospect.
Okay, si Lita.
And she was suggesting that we talk to her. This person has events place right across Inares Center. So she's also suggesting we might consider her place also as venue.
Okay.
So we will meet her. She has to schedule it first. Just one prospect. Okay.
Yes. So that's a total of 9 prospects already. Hopefully, makakausap natin ng maayos. Any other, kasi I posted this sa ating official. Were you able to talk to somebody? Maybe may prospective member kayo? Prospective new member? Wala na? Wala na? Okay, sige. So, during the course of the week leading up to February 4, kung meron kayong prospective member na nakuha, please just inform the membership pillar or post it na lang sa official. Okay? So, halimbawa, Aya Dakanay, I have a prospect, and then maybe give us the name so that we can include that prospective member in the list of those we will be sending invitations to. Okay? Yeah, but please take note, February 4, our tea party online. Am I hearing somebody? At 10 o'clock in the morning, our usual time for meetings, because this is the time when the internet connection is good in my place. Okay? So, related to this, I would like to announce also that the membership pillar for the region, under Region Membership Chair Marivic Paras, met with me. We met with the team kailan? 2 days ago to talk about a February 5 pre-Valentine's party, the purpose of which is to invite prospective members or members we are eyeing for retention, yung mga comebacking members, no? So I will be posting the formal letter from Marivic Paras together with the invite, but please take note, it's going to be on February 5, 3 to 5. We are co-hosting because I was asked to MC that particular pre-Valentine shindig, ang tawag nila. Pre-Valentine's shindig, okay? You will be asked to come in your Gatsby attire. Okay, and then bring along at least one new prospective member or one new member, one old member that you would want to come back to the club. So after February 4, our tea party, another party the following day, February 5. So please take note of that. Okay, and the most important one, because it's going to be the one that's going to happen very soon, is our on-site Gabay Kababaihan at Barangay Beverly Hills Covered Court, the Anti-Violence Against Women and Children Seminar. So R8 9262. It's going to be conducted by the PNP of Antipolo, WCPD, Women's and Children's Protection Desk, under Police Lieutenant Lani Richa. So nag-confirm na sila, but please take note, may change sa date. It's not January 26 as initially posted in our official Viber group, but it's January 28, Thursday. Kasi yung Tuesday pala, meron silang court hearing, yung PNP. So please take note, it's January 28, 2021. It's going to be held in cooperation with Barangay Beverly Hills at their covered court. So I also communicated already with Barangay Captain Danny Arcilia to get 20 women participants for us, because that's the maximum that we can have, no? And then it's going to be at 9 a.m. to 12 noon. So 3 hours ang magbibigay ng lecture, PNP WCPD of Antipolo City. So at this juncture, I would like to ask how many will be able to go? How many can go? Can I just get names? But I will be posting also a checklist of members who can go sa official Viber natin, official Viber chat. So yes, President-elect Bendet.
I can go.
Okay. Who else? Of course, I will be there. We are exempting Director Bing and PRO Long, no? Talagang ano, they better stay home. Pero sa akin lang, kahit na 2 o 3, mas maganda kasi ang point ko kasi ganito, most other clubs, especially the ones in the district, they also take the effort to conduct VAUC. But they're all webinars, and the audience, ang audience nila, Soroptimist din, Soroptimist members, kasi sila yung merong merong Zoom at saka yung internet connection. Sila din yung audience. So ang akin naman, parang we should also reach out to the grassroots, yung mga babae talaga na nangangailangan ng orientation on violence against women and children. That's why pinupush ko kahit na 20 women lang yung maaabot natin sa barangay, masaya, 'di ba? Because we are able to get them oriented on their rights as women and children. So I hope you can bear with the club's decision to conduct the VAUC seminar on site sa barangay Beverly Hills Covered Court. I assure you naman, with our first experience there, malinis talaga yung covered court. 'Di ba? Gabay kababaihan, Chair Mimi. Mimi?
I can go.
Okay, sige.
Yeah.
Sino pa? Aya, can you go? Hindi pa kayo sure?
I have activity po on the 28th kasi.
Okay, oo. Si Director Sid, I'm not Si Edna. Edna, can you go? Okay. Sid, Director Sid, I'm unmuting you. Please unmute. Paki-unmute, Sid. Hindi ka namin marinig. Director Sid.
Yeah, I thought it was January 26th. So I blocked that one. And I made another appointment for 28th.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I texted you about the change. Anyway, January 28. Please take note. It's not January 26.
May board meeting kami noon.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, good luck mo. Anyway,
nag-complicate.
Oo, nag-apologize si Police Lieutenant, sabi niya January 26. They have pala may court hearing yung PNP-WCPD. So she asked kung pwede 28. So it's 28, it's a Thursday, no? Please, wag niyo na I will make an updated announcement for the date, January 28. So far it's PE Bendet, Director Mimi and myself. If you are able to go, please just write your name doon sa attendance list natin. Thank you. I will now move on to, do you have any questions before I proceed? Director Bing, Treasurer Bing.
Si Lita cannot go, but she will send all her donations through her son direct to the barangay hall, si Simon, and I myself, I can't go, but I will prepare all the necessary food packs, our gift bag,
yes,
which will represent like our Christmas gifts to the participants. The food, the tokens, the usual. So I'll take care of it, and then Lita's son will pick up all the. I don't have to bring it to Bendet anymore. Lita's son will bring it to the barangay hall. All the necessary packs. Yes.
Yes. So for everyone's information, itong VAUC seminar na to, we actually initially schedule this for December to coincide sana with our Christmas gift giving. But since we're having it in January, gift giving pa rin, Christmas gift giving pa rin, belated lang, an advance Valentine's Day at saka Chinese New Year gift giving. So thank you Director Bing for preparing the giveaways. Silita na, didiretso na niya sa barangay hall. Yes. Okay, sige. I'll take note of that. Okay, so any more questions? Tapos na yung mga major items. I would like to proceed now to the President's time. May questions pa kayo? Kumakain na kayo? Sige, please. Oo, I'll try to make this quick.
President Sid.
Yes, Director.
Anong giveaways for?
I will give the floor to Director Bing.
As per discussion with President Tits, it's more like a Christmas gift. So we're putting ham, a small ham, because this is what I gave to our employees. Cheese and spaghetti pack. Depends because we
continue being
meters between 300
being
one or two can. But as it is, sabi ni President, okay na yun. That's about 320 pesos each.
So it's ham,
cheese, and yung spaghetti
and
with
spaghetti sauce.
Spaghetti and sauce. Yung one pack.
Oo. So okay na yon. And then yung kay Lita, 'di ba may mga toys siyang ibibigay?
Since the ham comes with an eco bag which is small, CDO, ang kay Litang mga stop toys are really big. So we cannot contain it in one. So she will put it she will pack it herself na mga big plastic bags.
Oo. Yeah.
But I asked her to make sure that everybody of all of the participants will get something.
Oo. Yes. So the 20. So she will have more or less 20 of the toys.
Are we giving the barangay also?
No more na. We can give lang the barangay the Christmas giveaway. Pero yung mga toys siguro, only the participants.
Sabi niya, according to her, she can have more than 20. Sabi ko, kung more than 20, then we can extend it to the barangay.
Yes, let's do that also, no? Kasi wala namang limit to generosity kung meron. So,
ang ating gift pack will be 30. Tama?
30 lang kasi 20 participants and hindi 35 kasama pa yung team ni Lieutenant Richa Bing.
35 na lang.
Yes, please. Oo.
Okay.
Oo. Yeah. Okay. So, kung may mga questions or whatever updates, pakilagay na lang natin sa ating Viber. Okay, but I will be posting for sure Gabay Kababaihan schedule. Okay. So, thank you. I would like to proceed now to sharing the screen for President's time. Are you seeing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So thank you. I will go through the President's time very quickly. The first item on your screen is Live Your Dream, just to give you an update. Of course, we had our district level judging last November 27, and we're happy to announce that the club's nominee won the LYDA for the district. She's going to compete on the region level from among 14 districts. So let's pray again. There is no definite schedule yet, but I was able to submit already by email pertinent documents on Eden Bucalon's nomination to the Region LYDA Chair Marivic Vergel de Dios, copy furnished the Region Program Chair Nanette Valdez, and SIAPR care of Lerma Sahor. She's our administrative officer at SIAPR headquarters. One set of printed copy of the document was also required for submission by January 30, 2021. But yesterday, I talked to Lerma Sahor yesterday, and then she said she can do it as a favor to the club. Yung ipiprint na lang niya yung copy because I sent her a copy. So siya na lang ang gagawa nun. So as far as LYDA and our competing in the region judging, okay na lahat. So number 1 is fine. Let's move on to number 2, just to again put it on record. For the Christmas season, we had 3 Sir Optimist Christmas parties. One for the district on December 3. Thank you, PE Mimi and the Director Bing for attending the district meeting, the district party. December 10, of course, our pajaman party. I put in here all those who attended, together with, of course, our game masters and our guests, including Jendel, if you still remember, she spoke, and then our current scholars, Drea and Ina. Thank you, Scholarship Chair and now Vice President Edna, for inviting them on behalf of the club. And then, of course, December 17, we had our region Christmas party. And then 14 districts presented a Christmas number for a contest. Nanalo ang ang district in that presentation as a runner-up. We are awarded 4,000 prize, pero that goes to the district. No, I would like to thank again Mimi, Bing, CP Girly, and Director Sid for attending the Christmas party. Were you there, VP Benz, sa district? I'm sorry, sa region?
Region.
Yes. Please take note, Ann, kasama si, hindi ko kasi ikaw nakita doon sa screenshot. Okay. And
I
also,
stayed all up to the end.
Okay, sige. For the presentation, I would like to thank PE Mimi and Director Bing again for participating doon sa video ng Drummer Boy. Okay, so a third item, matters taken up at the Metro Manila Southeast District meeting this January 14 lang. Okay, we listened to assault on nurturing livelihood programs with resource speaker Sonia Aquino. The purpose of this is just to orient the district clubs, the clubs in the district, in the possibility of introducing livelihood program to our barangay, adopted barangay. So pwede natin pag-usapan ito ulit, no, with the program chair, of course. Actually, I entertained the inspiration of right after the urban gardening, ang sinabi kasi ni Didi Dorothy, we can think about converting to tea some of the anong tawag, ano yung utak ko ngayon, mga spices na tinatanim, no? So but the herbs, oo. So we can have a brainstorming session on that. And then we were also reminded of the DIBI seminar. Club DIBI Acting Chair Annie Dear. Oo. Napag-usapan natin na medyo mahirap because of the situation. So hindi ko masyado pinupush, no, na ano, but we can again meet on this, on a way we can do this, but kasi this time we have good news. DIBI Region Chair, si Tata de Guzman, of course, si Tata, you know her, di ba? Siya yung gumagawa. She already
Yes.
posted her schedule, tapos pwede niyang magawa using the material that she was able to do, virtual materials niya, na pwede daw natin siyang ma-hire. So at least we can now do it with her assistance virtually. Okay? So please remind me na again to call a meeting of the program pillar for the livelihood and then the IBI, no? Medyo swamped tayo with projects, but when we talk about it, I think that's half done already kung may plano, no? Okay. And then of course, I mentioned this earlier. Please take note, the pre-Valentine's shindig hosted by the region membership pillar team on February 5. Definite na yon. We are a co-host. SI Antipolo is a co-host. The purpose of this is membership recruitment and retention. Okay, so we will invite prospective members and then members that we want to come back to the club. Okay, then I was informed ng district that we have a deadline, so that's the president's responsibility for GACA on April 5, 2021. We have a scheduled conference. So may conference pa rin tayo tuloy, but it's virtual conference, May 15, 2021. Please take note of the dates. And this year, we are celebrating 100 years of Soroptimist, no? There's going to be a kick-off of the celebration on October 23, 2021. Ang dinig ko parang anong tawag? Fashion show. Parang fashion show ata. Mahilig ang Sir Optimist sa fashion show, no? Okay, sige. And then we are also reminded of Sir Optimist fundraising. Locally, we have the Sampaguita Club. So if you are already a Sampaguita member, they are asking kung pwede mag-upgrade at 1,000 pesos. If you're already a Laurel Society member, because from SIA naman ito, US dollars 1,000 for the upgrade. Pero maraming nagsasabi na I think it's time that we first do fundraising for the club para marami tayong magawa, no? Ito basically for I think GACA points ito, for GACA points. So but if you're interested to upgrade your Sampaguita membership, okay, please feel free to do that. And then I'm working on the revision or amendment of the club bylaws again, because we are required to really revise our bylaws. Wala lang akong assistant to type. Mahirap kasi mag-type ng document. So I am taking time to revise, and then si PRO Long already agreed that to discuss this. So pag okay na, I will send it to her and maybe call a meeting of the directors to go through the club bylaws and then and present it to the club for ratification. And then Unsung Women Heroes Award, parang yon, false alarm. Binasi kasi ni District Director Dorothy doon sa kanyang calendar that she got start of the biennium last year. But we were informed it happens once in 2 years, no? So thank you for the information, Director Sid, but I'm making it official. It's not this year, but next year, 2022, Unsung Women Heroes Award. So please take note, P.E. Bendet, who's also chair of this award. Okay. Somebody's raising. If you're raising your hand, please unmute and then tell me, kasi I only see 4 people on my screen because of the share screen.
Annie,
yes, dear.
No, I was already actually going to write it in Viber. You mentioned that you're having a hard time typing for the revision of the amendment of the bylaws. I can help you with that. You just send it over. I can do it.
Oh, talaga?
That's good. That's
Kasi,
good.
kasi I'm so Jurassic, you know. I write down first, sinusulat ko muna bago i-type. And my typing method is seek and you will find.
No worries.
Okay,
I can
sige.
do that.
So, okay lang. I'll send you
Yes.
sige. Yung
Yes.
manuscript ko lang.
Okay, sure.
Okay, sige. Thank you talaga. Okay. Nakahinga ako doon.
Style Elmer ka pala.
Seek and you shall find.
So, okay, next. Bas konting-konti na lang. Antipolo City Local Health Board meeting for the fourth quarter. We were able to attend that. We got the invitation. And then the purpose of the meeting was to just give an update on the COVID situation in Antipolo City and the minimum health standards required for a safe Christmas season. Yun yung inattend namin December 3, 2020 kasama si Director Sid. Thank you again, Director Sid, for attending that. Tapos nakita din namin doon si Mayor Andeng Inares who gave the opening remarks. Tapos ito din yung nagpalakas ng loob ko na ituloy yung VAUSI. Kasi alam nyo ba, 0 case ang barangay Beverly Hills. As of that time, COVID-19, talagang nasa dulo siya, yung barangay Beverly Hills. Practically, 0, wala talagang nangyari doon. And then, I asked the group kung safe, sabi nila basta ano lang daw yung maximum number of people at one given time, okay lang. May nagsasalita who wants to is that you? Yes, Director Mimi.
You mean 0 case sa Beverly Hills ng VAUSI or 0 case ng COVID-19?
Ng COVID-19. Oo,
Ah.
COVID-19. Oo. I'm
I know
on the
my
local
former
health board.
katulong was a domestic violence victim.
Who?
Oo. I'm not sure about the situation sa VAUSI, no? The Director Mimi, kasi malalaman pa natin siguro during the seminar itself. But as far as safety sa COVID-19 is concerned, Barangay Beverly Hills was given parang clean bill of safety. At least during that time. Oo. But hopefully well.
President Sid.
Still.
Yes, Director Sid.
Yeah, going back to the amendment of our bylaws, and I sent you the template.
Yes, yes, I received it from.
So,
it was not SI Bulacan or SI Makati.
No, I got it from Lerma.
Yes, I received it.
Bylaws.
Yes.
So, doon na lang tayo mag-base sa template and we just add.
Yes, our own.
Para,
yes.
So, easier for Annie
to type.
To
yes.
edit.
Oo,
diba?
to edit na lang. Oo, yes.
Oo.
Manuscript na lang and edit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Editable file ba yung natanggap natin?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Sige. So I'll
and
communicate
also
na lang
we have to do start the SEC registration. President SEC registration. We can start that. But we have to finish our bylaws
first.
Update.
Yes. Oo.
Yeah.
So hopefully we will be able to do that during this year, no? Oo. Yeah, okay. So, pero i-prioritize natin. May timeline kasi itong bylaws. It has to be done, I think, before the end of March. Because it's a GACA requirement. Yes, because it's a GACA requirement. So actually, membership at saka GACA requirement, yung kailangan natin ma-address. Tsaka yung bylaws pala. Yes, oo. Okay. So any other comment? Sino pa?
It's really a guide.
Yes.
Our guide. Tsaka for the new incoming members, para alam nila.
Yes, oo. Meron pang gustong magsalita? Wala na. 4 lang yung nakikita ko on my screen eh. Okay, so I'll move on to the last item. Federation SIA matters. As your president, I was able to send in my votes on behalf of the club on December 10, 2020 on the 8 amendments to the federation bylaws. Basically ministerial lang because it's centered only on the change from best for women to investing in dreams. Yung sa logo natin, may mga corresponding kasi siya ramifications as far as the bylaws are concerned. Tapos parang ministerial lang siya in the sense that all the amendments were focused on that. Tapos yes lang lahat yung sagot. So I conferred with my co-presidents sa 5 clubs in the district and we all discussed it. So it did not have the benefit of my discussing it with you kasi wala talaga tayong oras during that time. But and also other than that, on the same date, I also sent in my vote for Mitzi Piad as our federation director, replacement of past Governor Myra Abubakar in the SIA board that will take office, who will take office September 1, 2021. If you remember, we sent in our nomination for Cherry Tumaneng.
Yes.
But because she passed on, by default, nanalo si Chair Mitzi Piad. And we voted for her also. Okay, so thank you very much, President's time. We will now move on. Do you have any questions? Sorry ha, talagang minamadali ko para hindi kayo...
Meron pang isa.
Yes?
Information about the resignation of Liz Lucas.
Yes, can you just say something about it, Director Sid?
It's in the website.
Oo, sige. Okay. Do you want to say something para ma-include? Okay, sige. Continue.
I think it's effective September 1.
Yes.
For her resignation. Not very sure, but yun, sometime in September.
Baka sabay
so that gives time for the transition of whoever will be the replacement.
So
she didn't give any reason.
For everyone's information, Liz Lucas is the executive director. Parang siya yung parang secretary doon sa office ng SIAPR SIA Federation headquarters in Philadelphia, right?
Right.
She sent in her resignation effective, I think, September 1, 2021. So naghanap sila ng bagong administrator, parang administrator siya executive director. So
it's open.
For
application. it's open.
Okay. Ang hirap na trabaho nun, especially with the COVID situation.
Si Aisa pwede.
Okay. O kaya si Edna. Okay. So, thank you. Let's now move on to the birthday celebration. I will stop sharing now para naka-ano na tayo lahat. Naka-gallery view na tayo. So, sino yung wala na? CP Girly. Ayan. Okay, so PE Mimi, I'm sorry. Director Mimi, Fanny, and
I have the cake.
And Bobby, light your cake. Please unmute everyone. Yung cake. Maraming salamat ulit, Bing, for sending the cake. Thank you. Okay, so let's sing. Na, mga kandila. Okay, sige. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Kaya picture sila na nag-blow ng
Blow,
blow
blow,
your
blow.
candle.
Wish and blow.
Wish!
Wish and blow.
Yeah, ay,
Wish and
picture!
blow.
Picture,
Nag-take
picture.
ng picture.
Hindi ulit.
Picture, picture.
Picture
Yeah,
sa
yeah.
Blow
pag-blow.
ulit.
Sisindihan ulit.
Wait. Tindahan ulit.
Boblo, kunwari.
Cake.
Tindahan ulit.
Ay, teka muna.
Pwede
Teka muna.
kunwari.
With the light. With the light.
Teka.
Lights on, please.
Yan, ulit. Who's taking the picture?
Si Aya,
Aya.
our documenter.
Yay!
Okay. Okay, thank you. Wishes. Wishes. Mag-speech yung ano. Sige, let's start with Fanny. Thank you.
Ang sarap.
Ay, na si Fanny.
Okay, Fanny. Anong wish mo, Fanny?
Ano? Teka lang po. Ang sarap eh.
Hoy, ang sarap yan.
Okay.
Decadent.
Si
All
Mimi.
the best.
Director Mimi.
Nako, madadagdagan naman yung aking obese.
Scary
Sabi
yung...
pa naman ni Doktora Nina, lose weight.
Scary yung
Thank you
statistics
very
for
much.
Obesity, no?
Yeah,
Enjoy your cake.
Thank you very much.
Really
And then, of
good.
course, let's hear from our Bobby. Bobby, hi. Bobby, dear.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you for the cake.
Ang rich, ang sarap.
Ang sarap
sarap
daw,
niyan.
King. Ang sarap daw. Okay, sige. So, pagkatapos ng birthday celebration, adjournment. But before I adjourn the meeting, I would like to put on record that the issue between me and Director Chato, she's our director on leave, has been resolved. No, para lang maano, all the apologies, all the things that you saw doon sa social, naayos na namin. She brought the LOA case kasi, actually it was not really bringing it there. Nagsumulat lang siya sa SI Americas for clarification on LOA. And because it was internal to the club, sumagot ang SI of the Americas sa region to resolve the case, no? And then membership chair Marivic Paras contacted me middle of December to formally inform me, no, that there was that letter, and because it should be internal to the club, I asked her kung pwedeng maayos with the membership pillar. So what happened was on January 13, we had a meeting with facilitated by co-chair IPDD Baby Ocampo of membership in Luzon, and then District Director Dorothy, myself, and the Director Chato. We both argued our case and made the necessary apologies. We are now on the road to reconciliation, but I also realized that there's no reconciliation without accountability. So I would like to tell the club that the buck stops with me. I hold myself accountable for whatever happened. As your president, I take the responsibility for my action and would like to apologize sincerely to the club for, in a way, nauga tayo, no, na-destabilize ang club. And then, of course, to Director Chato, I already sent her my most sincere apologies. I may have argued my side of the issue. I may have been favored. I may have been proven right on some points. I may have been proven wrong on some points. But for sure, I know I cannot argue the fact that I hurt Director Chato. And as an upstanding member of the club, she deserves my apology. And also kayo rin. So sana yung mga may sama ng loob sa akin kasi alam ko may yung iba ayaw na ako kausapin or kasi takot sila na baka bigla ko na lang silang tanggalin sa official I would like to apologize. It was never personally intended talaga for me to do that, no. Kaya nga kailangan talaga natin maayos yung ating bylaws para tama naman yung ginagawa, no, ng presidente, hindi maabuso yung discretion. So I hope tao lang po ako. Patawarin niyo naman na ako. Kausapin niyo na ako. And sabi ko kay Director Chato, the time that she's ready to rejoin as an active member, kasi ngayon although paid member siya, naka-LOA siya, which means na hindi siya active member, and official group chat natin is for active members. So sabi ko sa kanya, anytime we can bring her back, with her of course go signal for sa social natin. So I would like to ask Director Sid to bring her back sa social. And then pag sinabi niya na sa akin na tits pwede na, kasi nag-uusap kami in the sense na she sends me prayers every day, and yun na nga, we're on the road to reconciliation, at I also encouraged her para hindi na siya gray area na paid member ka na naka-LOA. Can you please make your decision not to come back to the club, no? But she said medyo busy pa siya. But she'll rethink it during the year. So I hope na we can bring her back to the official group chat. Now, ang lang naman, dahil naka-leave siya, tapos pero paid member siya, hindi siya active member. I would like to get your concurrence kasi this is outside the bylaws, wala pa talaga tayong sinusundan. Okay? Okay siya sa social. Do you want me to have her join the official group chat? Mag-decide tayo kasi if you think na you would want her to, kasi the limitation kasi pag social lang siya, announcements of meetings, announcements of things that we decided on, announcements of activities, hindi niya makikita. So I would like to bring it up with you para maayos natin na ma-clear na lahat, no? Pero of course, magiging president president making, magiging president natin kung inallow natin ngayon. Baka sa sunod na not necessarily Director Chato mag-LOA tapos nasa official chat na active pa rin. Baka may masabi naman na so magiging president setting siya kumbaga. Okay? So I am seeing hands. President Bing.
I think there should be a clear line division of what we mean when we say leave of absence. Kasi in the case of I think in the case of Chato, she just wanted to have an leave of absence from our activities. That's how I get it. But she felt she was free to make comments. So there has to be a very clear distinction of what should leave of absence really mean. Kaya tayo medyo nagkaano.
Oo.
Because I think her intention was,
Yeah.
Ayun ang opinion ko.
Pero pinag-uusapan natin to in her absence. Basta in her absence, but let's just stick na lang to the facts, no? Even the question of being able to vote, kasi remember, I put on official our voting for the board resolution granting lifetime membership. Remember? Oo. Number 20, she voted there. So again, there's the gray thing there. She's a member on a leave of absence, tapos nag-cast siya ng vote. Okay lang yung board resolution, medyo safe yon. What if there is an election or something that will be resolved and then, na she doesn't have knowledge of it? Yun yung ini-explain ko actually. That's why ini-explain ko na that's why we have two Viber groups eh. The social and the official. The official kasi once you post, it has to be fact checked kasi dapat may factual na posting 'yon, 'di ba? And how will you get facts? If you're able to attend meetings, activities, be informed of all things that are happening to the club. Yun yung punto. And then, the social naman, greetings and everything, pwede doon. Tapos, so yun lang yung, actually yun yung inexplain ko. No? There was no intention at all to deprive her of information about the goings on in the club. It was only asking her to just streamline posts. Number one, remember, I told you na wag lang natin i-flood ng pictures yung official group chat. I think we agreed on that. So, meron na tayong ano. But as I said, dahil wala nga tayong bylaws pa, hindi pa natin naaayos yung bylaws natin, which will include our parang guidelines on members on leave of absence. Talagang medyo nangangapa pa ako. Okay, nangangapa pa tayo. Okay. So, yun. Pero so hopefully talagang maayos natin. So ngayon, is it okay na ibalik natin siya sa social? Wag lang muna sa official until such time na she tells us na gusto ko nang bumalik.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your concurrence?
Yeah.
Yes.
I concur sa social.
Okay. Sige. So,
I think Edna wants to say something.
yes, dear. Oo.
No,
Vice
I
President
wasn't
Edna.
sure kasi what we were discussing bringing back Chato in the social or in the official. Is it
Social
lang?
okay na,
Social.
yes. Oo.
Okay, social.
Okay.
Okay, sige.
Agreeable si Chato?
Actually, ano nga, sinasabi ko nga sa kanya, bumalik ka na kasi para nang wala ng gray area. Kasi look, her case is really different. Kasi once, di ba tayo, pag gusto natin mag-LOA, magsasabi na tayo, President Bing, hindi na pala muna ako magiging
So she
active
will not
member
pay her
ngayon,
dues.
mag-LOA. So, wala nang babayad, di ba? Oo. Pero sa case kasi ni Director Chato, she joined us, she paid June. Pagka July, naka-attend pa siya ng July 27 meeting natin. Na before that, if you still remember, July 1 pa lang nag-post na ako ng proposal na magkaroon tayo ng official para mas streamline natin yung information from social to official. And then everyone concurred. Diba? Tapos, nilagay na natin yung pangalan lahat ng active members. Her name included. Tapos, nag-post siya ng kanyang LOA, request for LOA. So, parang nagkaroon tayo ng problema tuloy how to navigate that. No? Oo. So, yun yung actually ang source ng ang source ng misunderstanding. Yes, oo, misunderstanding namin. Okay. So,
President Sid,
yes, dear.
maybe I will just ask her first if she is willing to be included back to our social. What do you think?
Yes. Oo, yes. Kasi siya yung, actually, hindi siya yung umalis, no? I will also text her na pinag-usapan natin to para at least alam naman niya. And then ask her, gusto mo na bang bumalik? Kasi babalik na kita sa official. Oo.
Official or social?
Sa social kasi
sa official.
Pag
bumalik sa official.
Ako kasi yung administrator sa official. So ako yung makakabalik.
Ako ba sa ano?
Sa social.
Ako ba sa social?
Yes, ikaw.
And I think anybody can
bring her back. I think so.
Talaga?
In and out. Oo.
I do not know. Oo, sige. So can you just ask her kung okay siya sa social?
Yeah, I'll do that first.
Kasi siya yung nag-initiate ng pag-alis eh. Oo. Pero ano naman na, I hope naklaro na natin lahat. Anyone else who would like to say something? Annie, thank you very much also for all the help. Hindi ko na i-mention pero talagang nakatulong si Annie. Maraming salamat din kay CP Girly, of course. Director Sid at saka si Prolong, talagang maraming salamat for all your help. Vice President Edna also. and si Ann. Oo, okay. At actually, para nakausap ko ata kayo lahat, no? So I hope na-clear na lahat. Okay, so, okay, thank you. I will now proceed to the adjournment by asking for a schedule of our next meeting. The third Thursday for February is February 18, no? February 18. So,
President Tit,
yes, Director Sid.
I think that's the date that I am looking for the induction. Diba,
Okay.
Ben?
Sige. Wag na tayong wag na kasi let's focus on para hindi naman kayo masobrahan ng activities for February. May February 4 na tayo, may February 5 na tayo, tapos may February 18 for the induction. Okay? So, kung matutuloy yung induction, yun na rin yung parang meeting natin. No? Sige.
Saturday
Can
yun.
we,
Tapos on-site yun. February 18 is a Thursday.
Thursday.
So parang meeting date din natin. Basta kasi on-site, magkikita-kita tayo. Siguro we can print na lang copies of the minutes, no? And then tapos na lang para masabay na natin, ma-maximize na natin yung oras that we're together.
And may I suggest to our invitees to be members na i-block nila yung Feb 18 already para hindi ma-complicate na we have to decide the time. Para kasi adding to this na lang I asked LeBlanc dun sa kanilang open, it's 600 per head. Depends on the menu. More or less, it's 600 pesos per head. Kasama na lahat, pati yung venue, kasama na yung sound system.
Oh, okay na yun.
In the open air.
Anong menu yun? Lunch?
We have to select the menu. More or less yun yung depends on the menu that we will select.
Usually we have it at 10 o'clock, tapos nagla-lunch tayo, tapos di ba parang ganon. Ano yun?
Pero kung open air siya, parang mainit. Siguro
medyo
sometime
hapon.
Afternoon, 3 or 4.
Sige. By the way,
kasi open, dun sa open sa taas.
Yung please understand.
Or by the pool.
The induction is on site. So kailangan talaga natin ng safety So we'll have it late afternoon. May difference.
Si Beth is raising her hand.
Okay.
Wala pang definite.
Yeah. We have to ask their availability.
Kaya nga we have to do 2 dates, like 17 or 18. Kung as of now, yun yung ibigay nating choice for them to be available, 'di ba? Para at least ma-calendar na nila yung. So yung membership committee can coordinate what date is.
Saan si PRO Long?
Before we adjourn, para lang ma-advise natin yung mga invitees.
Saan si PRO Long nawawala? Siya yung co-chair ni CP Girly kasi talagang hiningi siya ni CP Girly. Anyway, ito yon.
Best yung sa'yo, invitees mo. Pwede?
I have to
sabi ni Director Sid, parang tanungin na natin sila if they're available February 18. Or another date.
Diba they have to attend 4 and 5 and 18?
4, 5, and 18. I hope.
Pinaka-importante yung 18. Kasi para ibaraso na natin ang sila.
Tama yun.
Kasi ang dami kasabihin nila, ang dami naman kaagad.
Kaya
baka ma-overwhelm.
Sinabihan ko nga sila, sabi ko kay Chair Marivic, sabi ko bakit parang lagi naman maraming activities, and then I was asked to MC yung ganong tipo and ang hirap. Anyway, so February 18, February 4 yung ating tea party, no? 'Di ba may tea party tayo online? And then Zoom, and then February 18 on-site na siya. So, 'di ba malamig pa sa Antipolo? 'Di ba maganda kung umaga? Baka mainit na masyado sa hapon.
Umaga?
What do you think? Ano
What
bang
time?
oras na
9
malamig?
o'clock.
Malamig
That's
pa.
not that cold. That's not that cold in the afternoon. Malamig in the evening, like midnight.
Related to our question, talaga nakakatawa naman siya. Oh, midnight.
Being vendetta, midnight na induction.
Sunshine, yung araw.
Kaya nga, it's not cold. It's pleasant.
Yung araw, ang sinasabi ko yung
Pleasantly
araw.
cold.
Pleasantly
Yung
cold.
araw,
So,
yung
anong oras? Anong oras?
Yung matindi yung araw sa sa bandang 10. Di ba ano yun?
Hanggang 3 o'clock.
Hanggang 3.
Alam ko mainit.
Oo.
Hanggang 3.
Pagdating ng 3, medyo
nagsettle
mellow na
sun.
yung araw.
Oo. So we can
I was thinking
3 p.m.
Oo.
Sige, 3 p.m.
Swimsuit naman ang attire, so
we can
okay
do
lang.
ocular. We can do ocular dalawang lugar. Either up in the upstairs or by the pool on the ground. Pool side. May pool dun sa
Pero ano naman siya, shaded naman na area.
Shaded, yeah, but it's open.
At yun naman ang safe di ba? And they can accommodate mga 20 people.
20, I told Francis 20.
Oo.
Tapos yun na nga, more or less 600.
600 pesos per head.
We can do ocular and talk to them kung definite na tayo kung ilan yung ating i-induct.
Oo, sige. So, I intend to call a meeting before Feb 4. Are you fine? Membership, no? Para lang malaman lang natin yung mga prospects natin for February 4. Dapat for the tea party, that's point for the tea party, we should hit at least 5 members, 5 prospective members sa tea party to make it worthwhile. Kasi kung isa lang yung darating.
Yeah. Kunin na natin sila, yung yes nila by February 4.
Oo. Yes. Oo. Sige. For
February again, February 4. What
yes.
That will be the tea party.
Yes, 10 o'clock.
Oo. 10 o'clock Zoom yan. We will start with an invocation, then Soroptimist Pledge. Welcome address by Membership Chair, CP Gurley. Salt on Soroptimist, Director Mimi. Video of our 30 years, the making of Pearl, introduction of prospective members by their recruiting member, and then magi-introduce din sila ng sarili nila. Then we will ask them for their availability for induction. So we will already get their commitment and their availability for induction. For an on-site face-to-face on February 18, hopefully February 18. Tapos sa meeting namin with Marivic Paras, yung prorata yung bayad sa membership, kung makakuha natin sila this January until February 21. Kasi yung February 21, deadline naman yun sa mga makukuha na members at saka mariretain na members by February 5, yung sa party. So, may deadline of payment Feb 21 to become a member. Ang prorata yung kanilang babayaran, 1,000 lang sa region. 1,000 pesos lang sa region, pero buo pa rin daw yung bayad sa SIA. So, $90 pa rin. That's more or less the amount we're paying.
So, how much are we going to tell our prospects?
So, kung $90 yun, 4,500 plus 1,000. So, magiging 5,500. So hindi pa rin malaking diferensya sa 7,200 na binabayad natin. But at least maganda yung transparent na tayo, na iyon yung babayaran. Kasi ang problema kasi...
5,500?
Yes. Ang problema
5,500?
kasi sa region...
But up to July only. Up to June.
Up to June, yes. Oo. Ang problema kasi sa sa federation, sa Americas, talagang wala silang prorata. Talagang 90, ayun pa rin yung binabayad natin. Kaya nga nakwento ko na sa inyo na we are thinking of moving out of the federation, SI Americas, and moving to SI Asia. Oo. So it's a 3-year plan. Hopefully it's gonna succeed. Aware na rin ng SI Americas that the Philippines region will be pulling out of SI Americas and will be joining Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and ano pa ba yung isa?
New Zealand.
Singapore for an SI Asia. So that will bring down the cost of membership considerably kasi nga hindi na dollars yung basis for payment.
So talagang we have to tell our prospective inductees na 5-5.
Yes.
5-5, and they have to pay again next year, di ba?
And they will have to pay again end of June. Oo.
Yeah.
Actually, yun yung medyo
mabigat. Yan yung mahirap.
We have to tell them right away kasi it's a big consideration.
Oo. Yes.
For the invitees.
Oo.
Sabihin na natin, baka magulat pa.
Oo, totoo. Sabihin na natin when we tell them.
Can you under the days like they pay for this year and then they have to pay again on
next year?
Oo, kasi ang ating kasing fiscal year
July.
kasi natin hindi calendar year. Fiscal year natin July to June of the following year. So
they pay again
every year.
Ben?
Yeah, they have to.
Oo, so yung payment nila if we recruit them now will be up to June 30 and it's a total of 4,005. By end of June, magbabayad ulit sila ng 7,200.
Medyo mahirap.
Oo, medyo kaya normally may schedule tayo dapat ng recruitment. Dapat ang recruitment natin start of the biennium, 'di ba?
Start of the biennium.
Oo, start of the or at least second quarter, March, April, May. Tapos induct them in June para tamang-tama. May sila. Pero I will have to tell you honestly kasi I am torn between being president of the club na mag-enjoy lang tayo, fun. But when I attend the district meeting and the region meeting, nandoon yung pressure eh. So naiintindihan ko na ngayon yung pressure ng mga presidents in the past, no, na we have to induct this number of members kasi may pressure eh. 5 clubs. Ako lang yung -7, wala pa talaga. Yung iba may +1 na. Ako sumobra na sila sa target nila ng 1 more. Yung iba 0 balance na. Ako 7. So my attention was called by Didi Dorothy. But I had to reason with her. Sabi ko ang prioridad kasi talaga namin quality of member. Yun din yung sinabi ni membership Pilar Girly kasi sa akin. Sabi niya, Tits, ayoko ng ng quantity. Gusto ko quality. Oo, that's why talagang we really have to have first look, second look at our recruits na baka naman okay talaga ito na maging quality member. So, alam ko sumusobra na talaga tayo. So, schedule of the next meeting is February 18. I will now give the floor to Bobby. Bobby, I hope you're there for the closing prayer. Hiningi ko talaga si Bobby for the closing prayer. Bobby?
Nag-message si Bobby na mahina ang signal.
Okay. Sige. So, can somebody pray na lang, give the closing prayer? Sino yung may na-ready na closing prayer?
Ayan na si Bobby. Andiyan
na siya. Hi, thank you, dear. For the closing prayer, Bobby, advance happy birthday ulit. Okay, so closing prayer. The name of the Father, Son,
Father, Holy Spirit. Amen. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Yes. Lord, Heavenly Father, as we now ended our Zoom meeting, give us opportunity, Lord, to thank you for this mission. Thank you, Lord, for having given us the opportunity to be able to reach out to our less fortunate women and children. As we journey through these pandemic times, may we be as one, work together. Please continue to bless us and give us patience and wisdom to accomplish our meetings for the poor and the less fortunate ones. Please help us to work together harmoniously with love and compassion through Christ now and our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Lastly, I want to congratulate all the hardworking officers and members, this accomplishment is so well organized and full of meaning. And thank you also for everyone for the cake and for the greeting. Thank you.
Thank you. So, maraming salamat, Bobby. I now adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh,
everyone.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Edna,
Thank you,
congratulations.
Kay.
Nakaalis na si Edna, matutulog na siya.
Thank you again, Bendet.
Thank you.
For
You have to support me. You have to help me.
Ay, nako. Pledge.
Because my husband is my priority. Sorry.
Happy birthday to Kurt.
Yeah, happy birthday to Kurt. Mga January born pala tong mga to. Naiwan. Fanny, musta ka na?
Okay naman po.
Oh, finractice pa niya yung kanyang surot. Nakakatuwa naman. Nakakatuwa naman.
Fanny, padalhan mo nga ako ng mga menu mo. I-email mo sa akin. Para isama naman kita dito sa mga pinagpipilian na nagke-cater dito sa village.
Oo.
Meron kaming function. Pag meron kaming function.
Meron kang special menu for Chinese New Year. Masarap daw yung pansit mo eh.
Opo.
Nagdi-deliver ka ba dito sa Quezon City?
Ha? Opo.
Nagdi-deliver? Ah, talaga?
Opo. Although nung Noche Buena, meron kami sa Sandigang Bayan near doon. Nahirapan lang kaming mag-booking kasi peak season. Pero nakakarating kami doon, even Caloocan, Parañaque, sa mga classmates ko.
Oh, that's nice.
Last week pala si Ate Ami nag-order sa akin dun sa 40 days ng mommy niya. Hindi ko nga alam na nawala na yung mommy po niya. Hindi kasi ako active sa Facebook.
I think I read it sa Facebook, no, she lost her mom. But it's because of illness, no? Natural.
Yes po.
Oo.
I have to go na, yung asawa ko nakasilip na dito.
Ako hindi pa ako naka-breakfast. So thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye Mick. Bye-bye Benz. Bye Fanny. Bye-bye Bobby. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.